Welcome back to Tutorial Tuesday. Today we're looking at something with a very specific purpose, the vertical wall run. Now with the vertical wall run, we're going to break this down into three separate parts. First, the run up, second, the ascent, and third, the clamber. With the run up, it's important to get a decent amount of speed going into this because what you're going to do is convert your horizontal momentum into upward. And the way you're going to do that is by placing your foot on the wall. A couple key points when you're placing is you want to make sure that your foot is not too low, otherwise it will slip and you'll fall into the wall. You don't want to make it too high or you'll simply push yourself back. So a good range is to put it right about hip height. So that way, as you push into the wall and up, it will propel you upwards to get the height you need to get up and over. So as you're running into it, you're going to put your foot up on the wall about hip height, and if you jump, it'll get a little higher. At that point, you're going to push in and upward, launch up in the air. Now I'll move on to step 2, the ascent. Once you've launched yourself up into the air, you're going to place your hands on top and use them to pull you up to either your chest or waist height. If it's a higher wall, it'll probably be more like your chest and you'll have to muscle yourself up. But on something this height, if you have a good pop up, you should be able to land right about here, and then it's just a matter of bringing your feet up and over. Now the last step, to climb over, you're either in this position here, which is what we're doing here, or you're in this position here. Both of these are a little bit different. This is going to be a bit harder for you. You'll have to use some muscle with it, but it's still doable. You can use your feet against the wall. So at this point, once you're here, all you're going to do is bring one foot either side. It's your preference. I like to go with my right. You bring one foot up and over on top of the wall. The thing to remember with this though is that you want to bring it to the outside. Don't try and bring it to the inside. We're going to be tucked in a weird little ball. Just make it very hard for you to get your other leg up. So when you bring your arm to the outside, then you bring the other one up with it, following, and you can stand up from there. If it is a higher wall and you just barely reach the top, the next thing you want to do is make sure that you're not leaving your feet just dangling. You want to get your feet up by your hips into what we call a cat hang position. Leave your arms all the way extended. This puts your weight into your legs and not your arms. It doesn't tire them out as fast. At that point, what you're going to do is bring one foot up as high as you can, and then as you're pushing up with your feet, you're pulling with your arms, pull yourself up into this position where we would be in the normal setup. So now once you're in this position, you're in the final part of the wall run. Again, you're going to bring your leg up. I'm using my left leg for demonstration purposes. Notice this is on the outside of my arm. You don't want to bring it to the inside, it's going to be very difficult. Your trailing leg is then going to come up. This does go between your hands. At that point, you're going to stand up. Alternatively, as you bring this up, you could go into a speed vault straight over the wall. Or you could simply turn and hang on the other side. There are a couple of options. The important thing is now that you are on the top of the wall, what you do from there is up to you. It depends on what you want to do with it. Now, a couple of points when learning this move. The more run-up you have, the more momentum you have going into it, the easier it will be to get yourself up into the air because you will have more speed behind it to transfer upward. And again, the more speed that you have, the bigger walls you can climb. Point 2, when you're first learning this move, I would recommend finding something very textured like this wall. This kind of grip really helps to get you up into the air. Once you know the technique well, this is still very helpful, but it's definitely not necessary. Point number 3, I recommend that you check your surfaces before attempting this move. If you want to test your shoe against it, see how grippy it is, know how much you have to work with. If it turns out that it is very slippery, you want to know that before you go and try to climb it. This concludes the vertical wall run tutorial. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to see more. Let us know what other moves you want to learn, and we will see you next Tuesday.